If you're over 60 and waking up every morning with stiff knees, aching hips, or that deep, grinding feeling in your joints every time you stand up, then listen closely, because what I'm about to share might be one of the most important morning habits you ever learn. Let me start with something that might feel familiar. You wake up, you slowly slide your legs over the edge of the bed, you take your first step, and there it is, that tight pull in your knees, that stiffness in your lower back, that pressure in your hips that makes every morning feel heavier than it should, and for a moment, you just stand there, not because you want to, but because your joints aren't ready to move yet. And you think to yourself, is this just what getting older feels like? But here's the truth that most seniors never hear. Joint pain is not just age. It's not something you must accept. It's not something that happens because you turn 60. In fact, many orthopedic surgeons, rheumatologists, and joint health experts agree on this. What you eat first thing in the morning can either repair your joints or slowly destroy them. And yes, there is one specific food, one food backed by science, recommended by joint specialists, and surprisingly easy to add to your routine, that can help reduce inflammation, improve lubrication inside your joints, strengthen cartilage, and make your mornings feel lighter, smoother, and more comfortable. But before we go there, let me bring you into the story of someone who thought their joint pain was permanent. Her name is Marion. She's 68 years old. For years, she loved gardening. It was her escape, the smell of the soil, the feeling of life growing in her hands, the peace and calm it gave her heart. But slowly, her knees began to ache every time she knelt down. Her back tightened whenever she tried to stand up. Her hips would crack and lock on cold mornings. She assumed this was simply the price she had to pay for aging. She stopped gardening. She stopped walking long distances. She stopped enjoying the things that used to give her joy. But when she visited her orthopedic specialist, he looked at her diet, her morning patterns, and her inflammation levels, and said something that shocked her. "You're not in pain because you're old," he said. "You're in pain because your joints are starving." That one sentence changed her life. And it might just change yours too, because most seniors have no idea that overnight, while you sleep, your joints lose hydration, lose lubrication, and become inflamed due to hours of stillness. And the very first thing you eat in the morning determines how quickly your joints rebound, or how long they stay stiff, swollen, and painful. And here's the real reason this matters. Morning joint stiffness is more than an inconvenience. It's a warning sign. It's your body whispering, something is wrong. Ignoring it can lead to cartilage breakdown, reduced joint cushioning, bone-on-bone friction, chronic inflammation increased, fall risk, reduced mobility, accelerated aging of knees, hips, and spine. But the good news is, your body is also capable of repairing, rebuilding, and restoring joint health faster than you think. If you give it the right fuel before breakfast, the morning is the key. Your first meal of the day sets off chemical pathways that control inflammation, cartilage repair, collagen production, and joint flexibility. So what is the one food that orthopedic surgeons and joint researchers often recommend? The one that has been shown in studies to reduce joint stiffness, improve joint cushioning, and help protect cartilage from damage. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, you need to understand why your joints feel so stiff in the morning. Because when you understand the WHY, the solution makes perfect sense. When you sleep, your body rests, but your joints do not stay nourished. Synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that helps your joints glide smoothly, becomes thicker and less mobile overnight. Inflammation from the previous day builds up in your tissues. Cartilage absorbs pressure without relief. Muscles tighten and shorten. And then you wake up, and your joints feel like rusted hinges on an old door. This stiffness isn't because the joint is damaged beyond repair. It's because the joint has been inactive for hours, and now the inflammation, dehydration, and pressure are catching up with you. This is why your joints often feel worse in the morning, and slightly better as you move around. Movement warms up the lubrication inside your joints. But what if the first thing you ate could speed up this process? What if you could lubricate your joints before breakfast, reduce inflammation before it spreads, and strengthen cartilage before you put weight on your legs? That's exactly what the surgeon-approved food does. It works because it targets 4 major causes of morning joint pain. Inflammation, the silent destroyer that eats away at cartilage. Dehydration, which makes joints dry and stiff cartilage, or the gradual thinning that leads to bone-and-bone pain. Weak connective tissue, which makes knees, hips, and spine unstable. You see, aging doesn't destroy joints. Inflammation does. Poor nutrition does. Weak collagen does. Low hydration does. But the right morning food can counter all of this. Here's the truth. Your joints aren't old, they are undernourished. Your knees aren't worn out, they are inflamed. Your back isn't giving up, it's asking for help. And when seniors finally give their joints the nutrients they've been missing, everything changes. Stiffness drops, mobility improves, and daily movement becomes easier and more enjoyable. That's why this morning, food matters. That's why this video matters. That's why your joints deserve attention now, not later. And in the next part, we'll talk about what this joint repairing food actually is, why surgeons approve it, and how exactly it works inside your body to reduce pain and rebuild joint strength. But before we move forward, remember the emotional hook we began with. That morning moment when you take your first step and feel the weight of stiffness holding you back. You don't have to live like that. Your joints can change. Your mornings can improve. And the solution might start on your breakfast plate. Now that you understand why your joints feel stiff every morning, let's finally talk about the surgeon-approved morning food that can help repair joint tissue, reduce inflammation, and restore mobility after 60. The food is simple, it's affordable, it's natural, and the best part, almost every senior can start using it tomorrow morning without changing their entire diet or routine. The food is bone broth. Specifically warm collagen-rich bone broth taken before breakfast. You might be thinking, bone broth, really? Something that simple? Yes, and here's why so many orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, and joint experts recommend it. Bone broth is one of the richest natural sources of type 2 collagen, gelatin, glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid, anti-inflammatory amino acids, joint lubricating minerals. These are the exact same nutrients your joints are literally made of. Your cartilage is made of collagen, your synovial fluid depends on hyaluronic acid, your joint cushioning depends on glucosamine and your tendons and ligaments rely on amino acids like glycine and proline. When you drink bone broth before breakfast, you give your joints the raw materials they crave before your body digests anything else. That means your body absorbs these nutrients faster, easier, and more effectively, especially after an entire night of fasting. Let's be real for a moment. Most seniors are not getting nearly enough nutrients for joint repair. They're eating foods that trigger inflammation early in the morning. Sugary cereal, toast, pastries, coffee on an empty stomach, processed breakfast bars, or skipping breakfast completely. All of these increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, and worsen morning stiffness. But bone broth does the opposite. It calms inflammation. It hydrates joints. It lubricates cartilage. It strengthens connective tissue. It supports bone density. It gives your joints exactly what they're begging for after age 60. Imagine starting your day with something that actually feeds your joints instead of hurting them. Imagine waking up, sipping something warm and soothing, and actually feeling your stiffness melt away little by little. Imagine walking into the kitchen with lighter steps. Imagine sitting down and standing up with less strain. Thousands of seniors experience this every morning simply by drinking bone broth before breakfast. Now let's dive deeper into why it works. 1. Bone broth delivers type 2 collagen. The collagen your joints are missing. Most supplements contain type 1 or type 3 collagen, which helps skin, hair, and nails. But joint cartilage is made from type 2 collagen, which is found abundantly in bone broth. This type of collagen acts like cushioning inside your knees, hips, and spine. As we age, we lose collagen every year. That loss is responsible for grinding knees, cracking hips, stiff lower back, reduced range of motion, cartilage, thinning bone. Broth supplies type 2 collagen in its natural, bioavailable form, allowing your body to actually rebuild and restore joint tissue. Point 2. It's packed with gelatin. Nature's joint lubricant. Gelatin helps your joints stay hydrated and flexible. It acts like a sponge inside your cartilage, soaking up water to keep your joints cushioned. When your cartilage is hydrated, movement feels smoother, lighter, and less painful. 3. Glucosamine and chondroitin naturally occur inside bone broth. You've probably seen these ingredients in expensive joint supplements, but bone broth contains them naturally, without synthetic fillers or chemicals. They help rebuild cartilage, reduce friction, cushion your joints, slow down wear, and tear support long-term joint health. This is why many surgeons recommend bone broth over supplements. Your body recognizes and uses it better. Point 4. Broth reduces inflammation that causes morning pain. Most seniors don't realize that inflammation builds up overnight. Bone broth contains amino acids like glycine, proline, and glutamine, which are powerful inflammation fighters. These natural compounds help lower swelling in knees, hips, lower back, shoulders, hands, and fingers. When inflammation drops, pain drops. When inflammation drops, mobility rises. When inflammation drops, your joints feel younger. 5. It hydrates your joints before you take your first step at night. Your body loses water. Your joints wake up thirsty. Bone broth hydrates from the inside out. It replenishes the fluids in your cartilage and synovial fluid, the natural lubrication that helps your joints move smoothly. Your first steps become easier. Your morning mobility improves. Your body feels ready for the day. Now, I want to take a moment and return to the emotional hook, that feeling of waking up and being afraid of your first step, that hesitation, the stiffness, the ache that makes you pause. Imagine waking up and not feeling that. Imagine starting your day already ahead of the pain instead of behind it. That is why surgeons recommend this. That is why bone broth matters. And that is why starting your morning with it before breakfast can completely change how your joints feel throughout the day. But let's go even further. Not only does bone broth repair joints, it also supports your bones, your muscles, and even your digestion. This one morning habit becomes a foundation for your entire body. In the next part, we'll break down exactly how to use bone broth, how much to drink, the best time to drink it, and how seniors can make this habit work even if they have busy mornings. diabetes, arthritis, or sensitive stomachs. Before we go there, remember this: your joints are not beyond repair. Your pain is not your destiny. Your mornings do not have to feel stiff, heavy, and limiting. You can change this, and change begins before breakfast. Now that you know what to take before breakfast, warm, collagen-rich bone broth, let's talk about how to use it correctly so your joints actually feel the difference. Because here's the truth: you can have the right remedy in your hands, but if you use it the wrong way, you may barely feel any change. So in this part, I'm going to break down exactly how much bone broth to drink, the best time to take it, how seniors with sensitive stomachs can safely use it, how to choose high-quality bone broth, the biggest mistakes that stop it from working, and how to combine bone broth with simple morning habits that multiply its joint repair benefits. Let's get started. 1. How much bone broth to drink daily? You're over 60. Your joints need a steady supply of collagen, amino acids, and joint lubricating nutrients. That's why most orthopedic surgeons recommend 1 cup 8 to 12 ounces of warm bone broth every morning before breakfast. This is enough to give your joints a therapeutic dose of type 2 collagen, glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid, gelatin. If your joint pain is more severe, especially knees, hips, or lower back, you can take a second cup in the evening, but 1 cup in the morning is usually enough for noticeable improvement. This leads us to the next point. 2. The best time to drink bone broth. Surgeon approved. Always drink your bone broth on an empty stomach, ideally within 30 minutes of waking up, before breakfast, or coffee, before taking any medication, except doctor-required morning meds, because after fasting overnight, your digestive system is clear, your insulin is low, and your body absorbs nutrients much faster. This makes bone broth more effective for joint repair, inflammation reduction, collagen absorption, hydrating cartilage, reducing morning stiffness. Seniors tell their doctors that when they drink bone broth first thing in the morning, their first steps feel easier, their hands open without cracking, and their hips feel lighter when standing up. That's because you're feeding your joints at the perfect time. 3. What if you have a sensitive stomach? Don't worry. Bone broth is very gentle. If your stomach feels sensitive in the morning, sip it slowly, drink it warm, not too hot. Add a little water to make it lighter. Add a pinch of ginger or turmeric for soothing benefits. Most seniors actually see improved digestion, because gelatin helps heal the gut lining and supports healthy digestion. If you are diabetic or on medication, bone broth is generally safe. It is low carb, low sugar, and low glycemia. But always follow your doctor's advice. 4. How to choose the right bone broth. Very important. Not all bone broth is created equal. In fact, the wrong one won't help your joints at all. Here's what you should look for: real bones used, not powdered. The label should say chicken bones, beef bones, turkey bones, marrow bones, cartilage, or joints included. These contain the collagen you need. Slow-simmered 12 to 24-hour short-cooked broth doesn't extract enough collagen. High protein, 8 to 12 grams per cup. This is the easiest way to know it contains real collagen. No added sugars or preservatives. These increase inflammation. Gelatin-rich texture when cold. If it becomes slightly jelly-like in the fridge, that's a good sign. It means it's packed with real collagen. Organic or grass-fed. If possible, better quality bones equals better nutrients. Avoid broths that look like clear soup, have less than 5 grams protein, or contain flavor powders. They won't help your joints. 5. The biggest mistakes seniors make that stop bone broth from working. Let's go through these, because even one mistake can delay your results. Mistake number 1. Drinking bone broth after breakfast. Doing this lowers absorption dramatically. Mistake number 2. Buying broth with 2 to 4 grams of protein. This is basically flavored water. You need at least 8 to 12 grams. Mistake number 3. Using powdered collagen instead of real broth. Collagen powders help skin more than joints. Joint cartilage needs type 2 collagen from real bones. Mistake number 4. Adding milk or cream. This interferes with collagen absorption. Mistake number 5. Only drinking it once a week. Your joints need consistent nourishment. Mistake number 6. Not warming it. Warm broth absorbs better and soothes inflammation. If you avoid these mistakes, you will feel results much faster, sometimes within the first week, especially for morning stiffness. 6. Simple morning habits that multiply joint repair. Drinking bone broth alone is powerful, but combining it with the following habits can make your results even better. Habit number 1. Gentle 2-minute movement right after drinking. Nothing heavy, just ankle circles, shoulder rolls, or marching in place. This helps the nutrients reach the joints. Habit number 2. Drink a small glass of water afterward. Hydration helps synovial fluid production. That's your joint lubrication. Habit number 3. Avoid sugar for at least 1 hour. Sugar causes inflammation and cancels the benefits. Habit number 4. Add turmeric, ginger, or black pepper to your morning routine. These natural anti-inflammatories support cartilage repair. Habit number 5. Take a brief 5-minute sunlight exposure. Vitamin D activates calcium and collagen pathways in your bones and joints. When combined with bone broth, these small habits significantly reduce swelling, stiffness, grinding, morning pain, joint pressure. Your body responds to consistency, your joints respond to nourishment, and your pain responds to inflammation control. Remember that emotional struggle we talked about earlier, that moment when you sit at the edge of your bed, dreading your first step? Imagine slowly erasing that moment from your mornings. Imagine waking up and realizing your knees don't ache as much, your back doesn't feel as tight, your hands open with less resistance, your hips don't fight you when you stand. That's the power of using bone broth correctly. Your joints finally get what they've been deprived of for years: real nourishment. If you've followed this journey from part 1 through part 3, you now understand why bone broth works, how to take it, and the powerful joint-repairing nutrients inside it. But in this final part, we're going to bring everything together. This is the part where we talk about what happens to your joints over weeks and months of consistent use, the real, physical changes happening inside your cartilage, how inflammation slowly fades, how mobility returns, which daily habits lock in your progress, and how seniors over 60 can literally change the way their body feels every morning. So let's begin. 1. What happens after 7 days? Most seniors start noticing changes within the first week, especially if they drink bone broth first thing in the morning. Here's what 7 days usually look like. Day 1, 2, 3. Slight increase in warmth in joints. Digestive comfort improves, subtle decrease in stiffness. Day 4 to 5. Morning pain begins to reduce, walking feels a bit easier, cracking sounds in knees may soften. Day 6 to 7. Joints feel hydrated from inside, getting up from chairs feels less effortful, mobility begins to increase. You are not fully healed in 7 days, but your body is waking up. Your joints feel nourished, maybe for the first time in years. Why does this happen? Because bone broth rebuilds the padding, the gel-like cushion, inside your joints, little by little, and this brings us to the next stage. 2. What happens after 30 days? This is where real transformation begins. By day 30, daily bone broth is doing much deeper work. Collagen levels begin rebuilding, cartilage tiny, microscopic tears inside your joints start closing, synovial fluid becomes thicker. This acts like oil in an engine, allowing smooth movement. Inflammation drops significantly. This means less swelling, less pressure, and less nerve irritation. Muscles around your joints relax, tension in thighs, hips, lower back, and calves begins releasing. Mobility noticeably improves, walking, bending, getting up, and climbing stairs become easier. Many seniors report something beautiful. Around the 30-day mark, they no longer fear movement. They start trusting their body again. Imagine waking up and realizing your first step of the day no longer feels like fire in your knees. You no longer have to prepare yourself mentally to stand up. Your joints aren't fighting you, they're supporting you again. That's the power of consistent nourishment. 3. What happens after 90 days? The real joint repair window. Surgeons and orthopedic specialists often say cartilage responds slowly, but it does respond. The 90-day time frame is where the deepest healing occurs. Cartilage density increases, your joints gain structure and thickness. Grinding and crunching sounds reduce. This is a sign that smoother surfaces are being restored. Muscles surrounding joints strengthen. This offloads pressure from cartilage. Nerve pain decreases, less inflammation equals fewer pain signals. Walking endurance. Rezezu can do more without pain. By 90 days, seniors often say, I feel at least 10 years younger. My knees don't scream when I stand. I can walk longer without stopping. My back doesn't lock up after sitting. This is not magic. This is biology giving your joints what they have been deprived of for decades. And now that you understand the timeline, let's talk about 4. The one morning move that multiplies your results. If you want bone broth to work even faster, add this simple move every morning. The knee to chest stretch. Surgeon recommended it gently decompresses your spine, hips, and knees, increasing circulation to your joints. How to do it? Lie on your back. Slowly pull one knee in toward your chest. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Switch legs. Then pull both knees in together, if comfortable. Repeat 3 times. Why it works? Boosts blood flow to cartilage, releases lower back tension, reduces inflammation around the pelvis, lubricates hip and knee joints, helps seniors walk with less stiffness. This move with your morning cup of bone broth, and you'll expand the joint repair benefits dramatically. 5. Foods that boost joint repair. Eat these daily if you want long-lasting results. Add these healing foods to your diet. Omega-3 rich foods, salmon, walnuts, chia seeds, reduce inflammation throughout your joints. Vitamin C rich foods, oranges, berries, bell peppers, help your body build collagen faster. Magnesium sources, spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, relax tight muscles, easing joint pressure. Bone-friendly extras, turmeric, ginger, olive oil, garlic. These enhance the anti-inflammatory effect of bone broth. The more joint-friendly foods you eat, the faster your progress. 6. Dangerous foods that destroy joint health. These are foods seniors over 60 should avoid or limit. Sugar causes inflammation and worsens pain. Processed meats increase swelling in knees and hips. Vegetable oils, corn, soybean, trigger joint inflammation. Excess salt reduces joint lubrication. white bread, and pastries spike insulin, making pain worse. Even the most powerful morning remedy can't overcome a diet that inflames your joints all day. So make the morning bone broth your anchor, and avoid the foods that undo your progress. Asterisk, remember the moment we talked about, that painful first step out of bed? That deep stiffness that makes you hesitate? That quiet fear that your mobility is slipping away? Now imagine this instead. You wake up, you take a deep breath. Your body doesn't resist you the way it used to. You feel more ease, more lightness, more control. You feel like you again. You walk to the kitchen. You pour your warm bone broth. You sip it slowly, and your joints feel like someone gently oiled them from the inside out. You stretch for just 30 seconds, and you feel ready for the day. This is the life thousands of seniors regain. Pain does not have to be your future. Stiffness does not have to define your mornings. Weakness does not have to control your life. Your joints can heal. Your mobility can return, and your strength can grow again. And it all starts with one simple morning habit. Asterisk, you matter. Your comfort matters. Your independence matters. Your ability to walk without pain matters. And you deserve a body that supports you, not one that holds you back. So if this video helped you, if it gave you hope, if it taught you something valuable, please support this channel by liking the video, leaving a comment, sharing it with someone you love, and subscribing for more senior health and wellness guidance. We are here for you. We care about you. And together, we will help you live stronger, healthier, and happier after 60.